You see how there's a like a little, you know, that right there. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today I am going to show you the changes that I have in my fish room. So before, when I start my video, I would say, hey, welcome to breeding room. Hello, welcome to, you know, fish factory or shrimp factory, shrimp breeding room, etc, etc. But now the opening is going to change. Everything from now on is about to change. So what is about to change is that, so as you can see, these guys used to be somewhere else. This tank itself used to be all the way up there, but now it sits right here. Before we had 3 10-gallon tanks. We had, you know, the CRS, you know, CBS and CRS like that. So 3 10-gallons over here, and there were just a bunch of crayfishes, I think. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I filmed this, but I just came back from Mexico and I'm filming this right now, and I'll tell you guys all about it. But anyway, before I do that, you know, this thing, you know, it looks different now compared to the previous videos. As you can see, this tank now houses blue diamonds. Bunch of pretty blue diamonds. I'm trying to breed these guys, but it's not working as easy as I hope it does, and we have a mixture of CRS back in there. So the good thing about mixing Neocaridina and Caridina is that you don't exactly have to worry about crossbreeding, because Caridinas and Neocaridinas don't crossbreed. It's almost impossible. They simply don't do that. It's like trying to breed a horse with a whale. That doesn't work, right? I mean, it's not that like drastic, but still. So this is, it looks like this now. I have some plants on the side and full on filtration going on, because I house a lot of shrimps in here, and pretty good layout of the plants. So this is what it looks like, and this is a 20-gallon tank that sits underneath it. This currently houses 3 crayfishes. Before I had 4, and one was about to molt, so I removed that crayfish into another tank, which I'll show you in a second. But these guys are doing great. As you can see, the claws really grew on this guy, and this one has a huge, like, more girthy claw, but it lost the right one. And the last one is actually, it's hiding somewhere. It's a little, I think it's about to molt too, so it's in there, as you can see. I think that one's about to molt. Since one already molted, I think everybody else will molt. So there's 2 crayfishes that are already molted, and out of 4, so there's 2 left. But this is what it looks like, having a good, you know, same filtration, just different look and different layout and different positioning of the tank. And in the center right here, there used to be the 75-gallon tank, right? But now it's empty. So let me tell you what happened while I was gone in Mexico. Not exactly when I was gone in Mexico, but, you know, while I was about to prepare all that Mexico stuff, what happened was the Sump tank that I had down here that fed water to these 3 10-gallon tanks, it actually fed to this one right here, because before there were a bunch of guppies. So the Sump tank had 2 water pumps. One fed it to the 75-gallon tank that's set right here, and the other one, other smaller water pump, fed water to this 10-gallon tank with a bunch of guppies. But the hose that was attached to that little thing with tape, when it just got undone, and it fell to the ground. So guess what happened to all the water from the water pump from this sump? Yes, you guessed it right. It literally poured, and literally it emptied out this 30-gallon tank entirely. Well, I didn't have exactly 30 gallons in here, but I had good 15 gallons of water. So the water actually made a puddle here, and it went out to my room, to the outside of the wall, to downstairs. So there's a bit of a mark on the ceiling on the first floor, like water mark. It's not that bad. And the flooring, this is wood, as you can see, wood laminate. Flooring right now, it's gotten so much better because we dried it for 3 days straight before I went to Mexico. But you can still see a little bit of a lift. a little bit of a damage. If you look at it from this side, you'll be able to tell right there. You see how there's a like a little, you know, that right there. So the flooring was entirely like messed up. So my parents, they were very concerned about the weight that I had, since this is the second floor in my room, in my other room that I don't use. They were very concerned of the weight of the tanks, and it could possibly collapse the house. And since the wood is wet on the floor and inside the house and whatnot, it could possibly make the wood weaker. So what I had to do was to bring out the 75-gallon tank. I had to empty it out, empty a bunch of other tanks, as you can see. I emptied all the 3 10-gallon tanks here, and then I emptied this one. I emptied the pool that I had over there. I emptied the 3 10-gallon tanks. So as you can see, on top of these shelves, I have a bunch of empty 10-gallon tanks. These are all empty, and I don't think I'll be able to fill any of them in yet, because, you know, I will have space later, maybe on the first floor or garage or some storage area later on, but right now I don't have any places to put those. But so that happened, so I had to empty out the whole something, and then I had to sell all my guppies. So in that tank right here, this one, it's a little murky because I just did a water change, but there's just a bunch of cories and a bunch of what do you call those? I forgot, but you know, those guys, I even forgot the name. That's how much I don't care anymore, unfortunately. And I do care. But yeah, so I had a bunch of guppies and I sold them. Right now we just have a bunch of fries in here that are growing, but you know, they just live there and die later. And this is a snail tank. It was over there, and I moved it to here because I was going to empty out this whole section to make it look more clean. And this tank housed a bunch of mixed Caridina shrimps, and I had to empty it out and clean it up. And then now it's gonna house a couple crayfishes in the future. And dun 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 dun. So this 20-gallon tank that used to be really messy now looks like this. So before it was all messy with all bunch of plants, moss, all around the place, but now it looks more like a PetSmart or Petco fish tank. That's right. And in here I organized it like so, and the crayfish that I said that was in the other tank came in here because it had to molt, and I was concerned because this was the one without its left claw because it lost it a long time ago, about like 3-4 weeks ago. And when it finally molted today, it got a claw. Its left claw is a little smaller, as you can see, but it got a claw back. It got its claw back. I don't know if it's a male or female. I have to identify that later. But this is what this tank looks like. And these two 10-gallon tanks stay the same. The red Bloody Mary and the orange Sunkist tank stays the same. Great plants, and all the plants that were in other tanks were all jumbled up in there right now. That's why it's so dark and whatnot, and it's so green. But anyway, this is the kind of change that I have experienced in the past couple of weeks before going to Mexico. But yeah, it looks very drastically different. I have a TV there now, and this is now I just watch TV and whatnot. In a couple of months, my cousins are coming from Korea, so I think this is more like of a neater look, if you didn't understand. But yeah, it's neat now, and it doesn't smell as much since the guppies are all gone and the 75-gallon tank doesn't need sumping anymore. But anyway, this 20-gallon houses 3 crayfishes now. I'll put back the crayfish, that crayfish that's in there, in here very soon before I get new crayfishes, because I'm planning on getting new crayfishes for this 20-gallon tank. Probably anywhere from 3 to 4 new crayfishes in here, and then about 2 to 3 in here. We'll see how it goes. And as you can, I'm sure you guys heard that you guys shouldn't put multiple crayfishes in same tank, especially less than 30 gallons. But from what I have experienced, perfectly fine as long as you have good filtration like I do. I have this hang-on back filter, and then I have the sponge filter back in there. Sponge filter is not exactly recommended because they literally rip it and bite it all around, so it's so smooth here. But yeah, it's not as recommended, but I need some kind of aeration in here So bubble, something to produce bubble. So this is the best way for me. That's why I have this. And then this hang 'em back filter, I think it's for 10 gallons. But because of that, I do frequent water changes because these guys are very sensitive to ammonia and nitrite levels. So you have to do a lot of frequent water change. That's why this water is super clear right now. But also this one has this filter uses cartridges, and I change the cartridge every 1 to 2 weeks. I think it lasts about a month to a month and a half, but I change it every 2 weeks. I just ordered a bunch from Amazon right now. So yeah, these guys live in a perfect condition, very clean and very, you know, neatly laid out place where it has a lot of hiding spaces like this. So they don't exactly, you know, meet to fight or fight to get new territories. They just hang around wherever they want, and if they meet each other, they kind of say hi and whatnot. And when they molt, or when they're about to molt, they go into the hiding places and they try not to, you know, interact with other crayfishes, because as you know, these guys get very violent, and these guys know when crayfishes molt, the other crayfishes molt, that they're you know, what do you call that? They are easy to be attacked and to kill for food. But also, speaking of food and molting, the reason that these guys can, you know, possibly get along well is because I feed them very often. I feed them quality food very often, so they're not as hungry as, you know, as they are. So they don't exactly tend to attack one another. They just kind of say hi, play around and whatnot, just, you know, look for places to hide and stuff like that. But anyway, this is the kind of change that I have experienced. A lot of, you know, decreased size tank, but I don't think I can call this room a breeding tank anymore, because I'm not exactly doing any breeding, or am I successful at it? But once I am successful with crayfish breeding, my lobster breeding, I will then call my fish tank room into a breeding room. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and if you guys have any questions about these crayfishes, where I got them, how much I got them from, or, you know, what I feed them exactly, and how their daily routines are, and what to do in terms of molting process, just let me know, and determining its sexes and stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that mad claw. Look at that one mad claw right there. Beautiful.